Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we are exploring this documentary
Okay.
called Leonardo da Vinci and Hidden Alien Codes. Now, you probably know Da Vinci, right, as
Yeah.
the artist behind Mona Lisa's Smile, The Last Supper, those big ones. But
Yeah.
this guy was so much more than just a painter. He was an inventor, engineer, scientist, a true Renaissance man. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, the classic.
But the question this documentary poses is, was Da Vinci's genius inspired by something extraterrestrial?
Oh, well.
Could there be, like, clues hidden within his masterpieces?
It's a captivating thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you consider some of Da Vinci's inventions. Like he was
Yeah.
designing things centuries ahead of their time.
Mhm.
We're talking flying machines,
Yeah.
armored tanks,
Really?
even theories about plate tectonics. It's almost like he glimpsed the future somehow.
It really does make you wonder. Like you said, centuries ahead of their time, these weren't just like artistic, talent. This was a
Mhm.
vision that seems almost beyond, human comprehension.
Yeah. The documentary really emphasizes just how wide-ranging his genius truly was. I think that's important to consider.
Yeah.
Like to even begin to consider this possibility of, extraterrestrial influence.
Right.
We need to understand the full scope of Da Vinci's mind.
Right, because the documentary goes beyond just his inventions.
Yeah.
It actually delves into the world of symbolism and hidden codes within his art.
Fascinating.
To help us decipher this secret language, we have our expert with us today.
Absolutely.
So tell us about these hidden codes. What can you tell us?
Well, the documentary showcases the work of this Dr. Maurizio Saraceni, who actually used infrared technology
Oh, wow.
to analyze Da Vinci's painting, Adoration of the Magi.
Infrared technology. That's pretty cool. What did they find beneath the surface?
Well, quite a few surprising elements, actually. There's this depiction of a pagan temple
Okay.
that seems to be under construction. And then there are figures on the temple who appear to be in distress.
Oh.
And then there it is, the flower of life.
Okay, now for those of us who aren't experts in symbolism, what exactly is the flower of life?
So the flower of life is considered a sacred geometric pattern. It's like a blueprint of creation, you could say.
Okay.
In some schools of thought,
Okay.
it represents the fundamental structure of the universe, the interconnectedness of all things.
So Da Vinci incorporates this ancient and powerful symbol into his painting. What could that signify?
Well, it suggests a profound understanding of cosmic knowledge,
Mhm.
right? Maybe a connection to something beyond the ordinary.
Okay.
And remember, Da Vinci was deeply fascinated by sacred geometry, the idea that mathematical proportions underlie the universe's design.
Yeah.
And we actually see this in his Vitruvian Man,
Yeah, right.
which explores the perfect proportions of the human body based on these geometric principles.
Interesting. So we have Da Vinci, the inventor, whose ideas seem to transcend his time, and Da Vinci, the symbolist, weaving these hidden messages into his art.
Right.
But the documentary also brings up this mysterious event in Da Vinci's life, a cave experience that seems to have been pivotal for him.
Yeah, it's a really interesting detail. So Da Vinci disappears for 2 years.
Wow.
And when he returns, his journal entries hint at this transformative experience that he had within a cave.
Disappearance of a mysterious cave and a transformation. It sounds like something out of a fictional story.
It does.
Right.
What could have happened in that cave?
Well, we can't know for certain, but some speculate that this was Da Vinci's point of contact with something extraterrestrial.
Okay.
And it's after this experience that his intuitive understanding of proportions and knowledge seems to just leap forward dramatically.
So you're saying this cave experience could have been like a catalyst for his genius?
It's a possibility the documentary definitely wants us to consider.
Yeah.
And if we look at one of his paintings, The Virgin of the Rocks,
Okay.
we might see a visual representation of this cave encounter.
A visual representation.
Uh-huh.
Tell us more about this painting and its connection to the cave.
Well, the setting of The Virgin of the Rocks is quite striking. You have the Virgin Mary, the angel Uriel.
Baby Jesus and John the Baptist all gathered within this cavernous, almost room-like environment.
Okay.
It's a departure from the typical depictions we see of these figures.
So could this be Da Vinci's attempt to portray the place where he received this extraordinary knowledge?
It's certainly a thought-provoking possibility. And then there's the figure of the angel Uriel,
Yeah.
traditionally associated with wisdom, revelation, and kind of esoteric knowledge.
Okay.
In this painting, he's pointing directly at the infant Jesus.
The pointing finger, it feels almost like a clue, like he's directing our attention to something specific.
Exactly. The gesture itself is laden with symbolism.
Hmm.
In alchemy and pagan traditions, a pointing finger often represents a path
Interesting.
towards deeper spiritual understanding,
Yeah.
a journey beyond established doctrines.
So could Da Vinci be suggesting that Jesus' message went beyond the confines of traditional Christianity? Perhaps even hinting at a connection to something cosmic?
Bold suggestion.
It is. So we have hidden symbols, a mysterious cave, and now a painting that may point towards these alternative spiritual paths.
Right.
It seems like Da Vinci was inviting us to look beyond the surface, to question what we think we know, but there's much more to uncover. Up next, we'll delve into Da Vinci's iconic masterpiece,
Can't wait.
The Last Supper, and explore the possibility of hidden musical notes and prophecies within its composition.
Whoa.
Stay tuned. Things are about to get even more intriguing.
I'm ready.
Welcome back. We're continuing our deep dive into the mysteries of Leonardo da Vinci, exploring the idea that his genius might have been influenced by something beyond our world. Before the break, we were talking about Da Vinci's use of symbolism and a possible transformative cave experience. Now let's turn our attention to one of his most famous works, The Last Supper.
Yeah, The Last Supper. It's a masterpiece, captivated viewers for centuries.
Yeah.
It depicts the dramatic moment when Jesus reveals that one of his disciples will betray him. But the documentary points out that there might be more to this painting than meets the eye.
Oh, yeah. They highlight this particular figure that has sparked a lot of debate. The person seated to Jesus' right. Traditionally, it's been identified as John the Apostle. What's so controversial about this figure?
Well, if you look closely, the documentary points out that the figure has rather feminine features and clothing.
Okay.
It's not the typical depiction of John the Apostle that we see in other artwork from the time.
So could this figure be someone else entirely?
That's the question that the documentary raises. Remember, Da Vinci wrote a lot about how to portray women in art.
Yeah.
And the documentary highlights how this figure's pose aligns perfectly with his own guidelines for depicting the female form.
Interesting. So the documentary suggests that this figure could actually be Mary Magdalene.
Right.
What are the implications of that interpretation?
Well, if that figure is Mary Magdalene, it really challenges the traditional narrative of Jesus' life and relationships. It suggests a much closer bond between them than is typically acknowledged, in mainstream Christian teachings. Some even interpret it as a hint that they might have been married.
Wow, that's a pretty bold claim. And there's another layer to this theory, right? Something about the Holy Grail.
Yes. The documentary points out that there's something missing from the painting, the chalice.
Chalice, yeah.
Typically, you have the chalice present to symbolize the blood of Christ.
Yeah.
And the sacrament of the Eucharist.
Okay. So if the chalice is missing, then where is the Holy Grail?
The theory put forward is that Mary Magdalene herself represents the Holy Grail. Her womb, as the potential vessel for Jesus' children, becomes the sacred container.
Wow.
Carrying the lineage of a new and enlightened humanity.
That's pretty powerful. So we have a hidden identity, a possible love story, and the Holy Grail all interwoven into this one painting.
Right.
But it doesn't stop there, right? The documentary also suggests that Da Vinci might have hidden musical notes and prophecies within the artwork as well.
Absolutely. They introduce us to Giovanni Maria Palla, who claims to have found musical notation embedded within the lines of the tablecloth and the arrangement of the bread loaves in The Last Supper. It's a really fascinating idea, a visual score hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, almost like Da Vinci was composing music with his brushstrokes.
Right.
This reminds me of Carl Sagan's idea of sending music as a universal language to extraterrestrial civilizations.
Yeah.
Do you think there could be a connection there?
It's a compelling thought.
Yeah.
Music is a form of communication that transcends language and culture.
Yeah.
So perhaps Da Vinci was consciously or unconsciously sending a message to the cosmos through his art.
Wow. But the musical notes aren't the only hidden message, right? The documentary also talks about this hidden astrological puzzle embedded within The Last Supper.
Yes. The documentary features the work of Sabrina Sforza-Galizia. She believes she's decoded this astrological puzzle in the painting.
Okay.
Her interpretation suggests that the puzzle predicts a major flood in the year 4006 AD,
Oh, wow.
an event that will usher in a new beginning for humankind.
A new beginning. That kind of echoes the concept of Mary Magdalene's womb as the vessel for a new human race, doesn't it?
It does. And the documentary reminds us that Da Vinci himself wrote about this cyclical nature of floods and renewal.
Oh.
The idea that destruction often paves the way for a fresh start.
So it seems like The Last Supper is filled with layers upon layers of meaning, from hidden identities and symbolic objects to musical notes and prophetic predictions.
Yeah.
It's incredible to think about the depth of thought and intention that Da Vinci poured into his work. But there's one more painting that we need to discuss, one that holds a particularly intriguing mystery due to a certain crystal sphere. It depicts Salvator Mundi. What can you tell us about this painting?
Salvator Mundi. It means savior of the world.
Okay.
It's a remarkable painting for several reasons, not least of which is its record-breaking sale price,
Oh, wow.
making it the most expensive painting ever sold.
Oh.
But what truly captivates our attention is this mysterious crystal sphere that Jesus holds in his hand.
This crystal sphere seems to be a point of fascination for the documentary. What's so special about it?
The documentary identifies this sphere as the Cinnamoni stone, a wish-fulfilling gem from Tibetan Buddhist tradition.
Wow.
It's a symbol of enlightenment and spiritual awakening.
That's fascinating. A Buddhist symbol in a Christian painting. It seems like quite a deliberate juxtaposition.
It does. How would Da Vinci, a 15th century Italian artist,
Right.
even know about a symbol from a completely different culture and religion?
It's a question that begs to be explored. How did the knowledge travel across continents and cultures to find its way into Da Vinci's art? And why would he choose to include it in such a prominent way in a painting depicting Jesus, a central figure in Christianity?
Right. It's really thought-provoking. The documentary suggests some possible answers.
Okay. What insights does it offer?
Well, one interpretation put forth is that the Cinnamoni stone symbolizes Jesus' status as an enlightened being. It connects him to a lineage of spiritual masters who have achieved a higher level of consciousness.
So Da Vinci might be suggesting that Jesus was more than just a religious figure. He was like a conduit to a deeper, more universal truth.
That's one way to look at it. And there's another fascinating detail within this sphere, the 3 dots that appear within it.
Okay.
The documentary suggests that these dots could represent the 3 stars of Orion's belt.
Orion's belt, for those of us who aren't astronomy buffs, what's the significance of this constellation?
Orion's belt is a prominent asterism, a recognizable pattern of stars within the constellation, Orion.
Okay.
In ancient Egyptian mythology, Orion was considered the realm of the gods, and Osiris, the god of resurrection, was said to reside in this constellation.
I'm starting to see a connection here. Resurrection, Jesus Orion. Could Da Vinci be hinting at a link between Jesus and this constellation?
Yeah.
Is he suggesting a cosmic origin for Jesus, or perhaps even for humanity itself?
It's a bold interpretation, but one that the documentary encourages us to consider. And they further strengthen this connection by pointing out that the arrangement of the pyramids at Giza and Teotihuacan,
Wow.
2 ancient and architecturally significant sites, mirror the alignment of Orion's belt.
It's mind-boggling to think that Da Vinci might have been weaving such complex cosmic connections into his paintings. He wasn't just an artist, he was a philosopher, a scientist, and perhaps even a mystic all rolled into one.
Right.
But we have one more painting to explore Da Vinci's final masterpiece, St. John the Baptist. This painting is said to contain a hidden message, one that could be his ultimate artistic statement. Stay tuned, we'll uncover the secrets of St. John the Baptist in our final segment. And we're back, ready to unravel this final layer of this intriguing deep dive into Leonardo da Vinci. We've explored his futuristic inventions, his fascination with symbolism, and the possibility of, that transformative cave experience.
Right.
But now we turn our attention to his last masterpiece, St. John the Baptist.
Yeah?
What makes this painting so special, and what secrets might it hold?
Well, St. John the Baptist is a captivating work, full of Da Vinci's signature ambiguity and layered symbolism. It depicts John the Baptist with this enigmatic smile, this knowing gaze, and that familiar pointing finger we've encountered before in the Virgin of the Rocks.
It's almost as if Da Vinci is intentionally drawing a parallel between these two figures, both associated with wisdom, revelation, and paths less traveled.
Right.
And that pointing finger, it feels like a recurring motif in his work. Like he's urging us to look deeper, to question what we see on the surface.
Exactly. Da Vinci was a master of illusion and hidden meanings. And, during the Renaissance, artists were really fascinated by optical illusions. They incorporated techniques like anamorphosis into their work.
Now, for those of us who aren't familiar with this term, could you explain what anamorphosis is?
Sure. So anamorphosis is a technique where an image appears distorted unless viewed from a specific angle or reflected in a mirror.
Okay.
It's a way of concealing images within images, adding another layer of meaning that's not immediately apparent.
So is there an instance of anamorphosis in St. John the Baptist? Could Da Vinci be concealing something within this seemingly straightforward portrait?
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
The documentary reveals that when a mirror image of St. John the Baptist is created, the reflection reveals the distinct features of an extraterrestrial being.
An extraterrestrial being? Are you serious? That's a pretty shocking claim.
It is a bold statement for sure. The documentary presents it as the culmination of all the clues we've uncovered so far.
Right.
Da Vinci, the master of illusion, the seeker of hidden knowledge, the artist who seemed to be centuries ahead of his time. Was he, in his final masterpiece, revealing contact with beings from beyond our world?
It's a lot to think about. It's an incredible thought to ponder, but why? Why would Da Vinci go to such lengths to conceal this message? What was he trying to communicate?
That's the question that lingers, isn't it? Was he hesitant to reveal such a radical concept openly?
Yeah.
Was he leaving a breadcrumb trail for future generations to follow?
hmm
Was he simply playing with ideas and possibilities, exploring the boundaries of human perception and imagination?
It's a mystery we may never fully solve, but it's certainly captivating to think about. So as we reach the end of this deep dive, what can we conclude about Da Vinci and the possibility of extraterrestrial influence?
Well, I think it's important to remember that while the documentary presents a compelling case, we can't definitively prove or disprove alien contact based on Da Vinci's artwork alone. However, what we can say is that Da Vinci's work consistently pushes us to look beyond the obvious, to
Right.
question our assumptions, and to consider the possibility that there's more to our universe and to ourselves than we currently understand.
I think that's a beautiful takeaway. Whether or not you subscribe to the idea of extraterrestrial influence, there's no denying that Da Vinci was a visionary, a genius whose work continues to inspire awe and wonder centuries later. His art is a testament to the boundless potential of human creativity and the power of the human mind to explore the mysteries of existence.
Absolutely. Da Vinci's legacy is a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge, the exploration of new ideas, and the questioning of established truths are essential elements of what it means to be human.
Well said. And on that note, we leave you with a final thought to consider. What if Da Vinci's fascination with sacred geometry, hidden symbolism, and cosmic connections wasn't just an artistic whim, but a reflection of a deeper truth about the interconnectedness of all things? What if his art is a portal to a greater understanding of the universe and our place within it? We encourage you to revisit Da Vinci's work with fresh eyes, to ask your own questions, and to draw your own conclusions. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep looking deeper.